Hello, everyone, and welcome to season 2 of the African Leadership Connect. My name is Michael Nimoh, and I'll be your host today. For this season 2, we will be discussing a topic that I believe is very critical to young people between the ages of 20 and 45. We will be talking more about money and specifically looking at various topics and managing our personal finances. Money is a topic that I know a lot of people don't want to talk about, especially if it's not about earning a lot of it. But however, no matter how much you earn, if you don't want to know how to manage it, you end up losing much or going broke. Over the last 8 years or so since I started working professionally and earning some steady income, I have come to understand the importance of managing my finances, especially over the last 7 years when my responsibilities increased quite significantly. What a lot of people, young people especially, lack when they start earning is how to plan their finances, and this ends up leaving young people in debt, living from hand to mouth, as we usually call it, or even struggle when there is a change to their sources of income. That's very true also. For the next few weeks, however, we'll be delving into gaining some basic understanding about financial planning and management, including some helpful tips for young people to make the best out of their lives. Now, let's delve straight into learning about personal financial planning and management. So, before we delve deep into financial planning and management, there's one critical thing I want you to think about right now, and that is having a vision of how you want your life to be in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years. How would you want your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, or even your 60s to look like? It's a very important thing to think about. Put it on paper, write it down, and then based on what you want it to be, break it down into 5-year blocks. This makes it very easy to track progress. It might sound silly to you, but one thing I've come to learn is if you don't have a vision for your life, if you don't have something you are working towards, it becomes very difficult for you to attain that kind of life you want. And when challenges come, most at times people fall off because there's no vision, there is no future that they've set in their head or in their minds that they want to achieve. If in Proverbs in the Bible, we read where there is no vision, the people perish. Without a vision to guide you, it becomes very difficult to navigate life. It's like a pilot flying a plane with no destination in mind, with no destination. For example, when I get on a plane and I hear the pilot say, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to flight this. We are taking off from this airport, but we have nowhere we are going." I'm definitely not getting on that plane because most likely we are going to run out of fuel over the ocean and no one knows what will happen. And there's no direction. We have nowhere we are going. I remember declining several invites to parties, events, or activities because it was not aligned to my plans or budgets. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that don't have some fun or don't go out or have fun. I do, but I decide where and when I want to have it and not do it spontaneously. For example, if someone invites me that, "Hey, Michael, there's an event here, let's go," I just look into how much is it going to cost me to go there. Do I have that money budgeted for that month, among other activities that I'm supposed to do? If the answer is no, and this is not something I can afford in that month, I just say no. A time will come when I have that money, and when the event or activity happens, I can go. So I'm not saying don't have fun, but Just don't do something because someone says you should do it, and this has an impact on your finances. So the question becomes, what is personal financial planning and management? And I'm going to take you through certain definitions or explanations to make this clearer for you. So, to my understanding, it's all about understanding your financial situation to know how to run your day to day life as well as plan for your future. It means right now to assess where you are right now financially, determine where you want to go over a certain period of time, and how you want to get there. So, the question is, what is financial planning and management? To me, it's all about understanding your financial situation to know how to run your day to day life as well as plan for your future. It means assess where you are right now, determine where you want to go over a certain period of time, and how you are actually going to get there. For example, let's say I'm a 24-year-old who just landed a job with zero savings. That is where I am right now, with a goal of saving, let's say, 5 million shillings over a 3-year period. That is where I want to go, to buy a piece of land. That is my goal, my financial objective, my goal as at that time. Let's say in order to save that 5M, I have to save roughly 139,000 shillings per month over the 3-year period to achieve the set goal. This example is a general idea of having a financial plan. That is how it should look like. You can have multiple financial plans within the same period of time, depending on your goals that you have set for yourself. So it could be that maybe you want to buy a piece of land, or you want to invest in a piece of land. Maybe you want to build a house, you want to buy a car, you want to go back to school to further your education, you want to invest for your child's education, or you want to set up a side business or anything like that. These are all things that have an impact on your finances. Therefore, it's very important to plan ahead for that. So when it comes to management of finances, it should be done in such a way that you have set SMART goals or targets, which are SMART. When we talk of SMART, we are talking of specific, measurable. Is it attainable? Is it relevant? Is it time bound? That is what SMART goals or objectives look like. Then, once you have set your SMART goals or objectives, then you can focus on how do you actually save this 139,000 per month to help this 24-year-old save the 5 million over the 3-year period. And this is where having a budget comes into play. We shall talk more about budgeting in our next episode in details. So the question then becomes, why is it important to plan and manage finances? And I'll give you some few points here and there as to why it's very important to plan and manage finances. And some of that is drawn from my own personal experiences, as well as those of other people who have managed to plan their finances. So number one, I will say, is it gives you a sense of direction. It sort of guides you on where you are going, that, okay, I'm going on a journey. I've not yet arrived, but I'm on that journey and I'm heading in a way, or I have that compass to guide me. Number two, I will say it helps you to understand where you are spending your money. Have you ever wondered, and it happens to me a lot some time back when I did not have a budget, how in the middle of the month you run out of money and you start wondering, where did all this money go? Where did I spend the money? I had X amount in my account just 3 days ago, and all of a sudden I don't know where it went. Well, it's normal if you don't have a budget. Also, I'll say it gives you a sense of control over your money. You know how much is coming in and you know how much you want to spend. You have some control over your money. For example, in 2018, I decided that it's time to draft a 5-year plan from 2019 to to 2023. And one of the areas I set a target on was on setting a goal for how much I want to earn over the 5-year period from my work. So in 2021, after the middle of the plan, I decided to go back and then review, like, okay, I said in 2021, by the end of 2021, I want to earn this amount of money as main source of income from my job. And I was actually surprised to find out that in the middle of 2021, I started earning the money or the salary that I had budgeted or had planned for right in 2018 to earn by that time. And why was this so? Because when it was time to renegotiate my salary, I knew I had a target based on my experience, based on what I bring to the business, and based on my work. So when it was time to negotiate salary, I was able to go forth with a proposal that, hey, based on A, B, C, D, I believe with this new salary negotiation, I'm worth this. And yeah, the management agreed and I'm being paid that. So this happened, yeah, because I was prepared and I had planned for it. Beside the salaries, I've realized I'm starting other businesses or that will bring me some extra income. So that it can supplement what I'm earning from my salary. These are businesses that necessarily will not take time away from my main job, but I always tell myself I work mostly from, let's say, 8 or 9 to 5 p.m. Between 5 p.m. and the time I sleep, between the weekends when I'm not working, what else can I do? I have other skills I can utilize on, and I have ambitious income levels that I want to attain because I have ambitious plans. Therefore, I'm able to set time aside and then invest in other ventures that will bring me the income that I want to earn. And trust me, all of these were on my 5-year plan in terms of income earning. Talking about this 5-year plan, I've seen that over the course of the last 3 years or so, I've seen myself taking my educational, financial, personal, as well as professional development goals over the last 3 years based on the 5-year strategy or plan that I set for myself. But I will not lie to you that it's been a walk in the park, that it was so easy just going on month after month, year after year to achieve those goals. There are some months that I have to be honest with you, I deviated from my monthly budget, but the fact that I had it monthly helped me to get back on it and stick to it. There are some months that I would not even go according to the budget I had set. I would deviate, but I ended up coming back to it because it became a habit of me to set it up every single month. Whether I was following it or not, I would set it up, and at the end of the month, I would go back and review it to see, okay, I said I will spend this year, I'm going to bring this in, and if I was not able to achieve it, what happened? It really helped me to stick to the plan and to be on track. Also, something to worth noting was the goals that I had set for myself over these 5 years was quite ambitious, and every time I looked at it, it sort of motivates me to stick to the plan because I've seen that it's working. Imagine I set this plan from 2019 to 2023, and if I review, let's say in 2021, in 2022, and I see that I am on track, it gives me motivation that I'm on the right path and that I can stick to it till 2023 because it's working. I've had on several occasions refused to go on outings just because I had already exhausted my set budget for entertainment or for outings in that particular month. And so it has brought financial discipline to my life. So one thing I would like to bring to your attention specifically on setting financial goals or planning for your finances of financial planning and management is to set goals 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. The longer the better. For me, I decided to do 5 years so I could really have it trackable and see year on year progress. So as mentioned earlier, I had set for myself a 5-year goal in 2019, and I had segmented it into 4 areas. So I had my personal, I had my professional, I had my educational, and I had my financial goals. Then what I did was, in each segment I set a maximum of 3 things I want to accomplish every year. So when I take my personal goals, I set 3 things that in this particular year I want to achieve. Just 3 in my personal life. When I look at my professional, I set 3 goals. The same for my educational, and then for my financial. This were 3 was the maximum. For some of them it could be 2, for some of them it could be 3, for some it could even be 1, depending on which type of the year that period I am in the plan, in the 5-year plan. And I this way I'm able to keep it simple, and it fits on just a single page. Yes, it fits on one page. If you look, I have a 1-year plan that fits on a single page. My 5-year plan fits on a single page. Yes, an A4 single page, not A3, and that is how simple I have kept it. Each year I pick my 8 to 12 key goals for the year, and further break it down into quarterly and then monthly goals, and it all fits in one page. So each year I'll pick my goals. On the left side of my paper, I will have my yearly target, whether it's 8, whether it's 9, up to 12. Then I have each quarter. Then after that, next to it, I have my quarterly goals. So in that quarter, I'll break down these 8 or 12 into quarterly goals: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. What do I want to achieve? Or all these goals, what are the timelines I'm looking at? Or what do I have to do in all of these quarters to achieve my goals? Then I focus on one quarter, like let's say Q1. In Q1, what do I want to achieve? And there are 3 months in Q1. What do I want to achieve in this quarter? And I break it down further. So before you realize, in a month, I'm just using one page to track what I'm supposed to do, either for that month or for the entire quarter. It makes it very simple and very easy to track. And what I've done is, in my room, I have stuck it on the wall. So when I wake up in the morning, I can have a look at it and then reassure myself on the things that I have to achieve in order to achieve my yearly and my 5-year goals. So when we talk about financial planning and management, there are a few topics under it that I want you to be aware of, and this includes budgeting, understanding debt, understanding what net worth means, savings, and then investment. This will be discussed in subsequent episodes. Each episode after this, I'll be focusing on one of these topics, and then we can discuss in details what it means and how you can prepare yourself in light with that. And then at the end of this season, I will be bringing in an expert for us to wrap up everything we've discussed and then talk more about financial planning and management. So this brings us to the end of this episode. Join me next week as we talk about budgeting and how to create a simple budget to help you plan and manage your finances. From today's episode, if you've not learned anything, one take home I want you to go away with is having to set a goal for your life, whether it's a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year goal, and making it simple, specific. It should be time bound. Basically, I'm saying it should be smart. Have these goals at the back of your head and write it down. Where there's no vision, people perish. So have it written down, and then now we can talk about how do we break down these goals from the 5 years, from the 10 years into a yearly goal, so you can track it year by year. At the end of the year, before you start your new year resolution, you can go back and assess what you wrote down to achieve for that year and plan ahead on how you are going to now achieve the goals you've set for the next year. So if you did not pick up anything, one thing you should pick up is set smart goals for the next 5 years, 3 years, 10 years. It could be 6 years, 4 years, depending on what you want to achieve. Set smart goals. Don't forget to subscribe or follow me on my social media channels or the handles with Talk with Michael Nimoh to get notifications when new episodes are released. You can also leave your feedback and questions in the comment section. If you need any help on how to develop a personal financial plan, you can send an email to michaelnimoh@gmail.com. You'll see it on your screen. My name is Michael Nanayal Nimoh, and thanks for joining me on this episode. Have a blessed week and see you next week. Bye.